No.
I was like, you know why I'm attracted to guys who are like, oh, I like you. No, I don't. I like you. No, I don't. She's like, why? I'm like, because that's how my dad is. Can I tell you that?
I would say that it helped it because, you know, I had to adjust to a lot of different situations that some kids wouldn't normally have to go through. So I think it would help me.
I actually feel like I adapt more easily to certain situations. And when I was with my dad, he would put me in totally new situations with new people. I had to learn how to talk.
I'm definitely a lot more self-motivated now. I don't really like to depend on other people. I have changed my friend group completely since middle school. I don't know, I felt, not to sound like condescending, but I just felt like I outgrew them because it just seemed so petty and like immature, and I just felt like I grew up a lot quicker than they all did. And now I don't really like to depend on other people. Like, I do have my trust in like my friends and other family members, but a lot of what I do comes from me. I didn't think I could trust my parents or anyone who actually knew of the affairs that both of them had, but I eventually got over it, and I think my trust issues have stayed the same.
Behavior like caused any like trust issues with people?
Yes. I'm not going to elaborate, just yes.
I actually had, at one point when I was in like 7th, 8th grade, when I first started having problems, I self-medicated by cutting myself. And then once that got out to the school and to my parents, I went to therapy.
I would cut myself.
I think I look at people who are in a happy like family differently, and I like kind of judge them differently because I don't like see how that's possible. Like, I've never lived in that situation.
I'm a lot closer with my mom. I barely talk to my dad now. Yeah, I would say my mom and I definitely got a lot closer after the divorce. It took a little while though.
We're probably closer because of it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because she kind of had to be like the mom and the dad in one. And I would have to go to her for everything.
I'm more closer to my mom than I am to my dad.
Like closer than a kid whose parents are still together, or like a different kind of close?
Definitely closer than a kid whose parents are still together.
It was closer. The divorce definitely brought me and my mom closer together.
And so I used to be closer to my dad, but because of the whole situation with his drinking, like that hasn't happened for a long time. So like my mom.
And is it like closer than a kid whose parents are still together, or is it just like a normal relationship now?
I think it's closer because I have to depend on for the most part, like I only have her. Like he doesn't do much of anything. Really, like more or less, just wanted the fighting to stop and I was more relieved that they got divorced.
A good thing if they would have stayed together, because I don't think that their relationship would have healed well, and I don't think that it would have been a healthy relationship or an environment to grow up in. So I think it was almost a good thing that they got divorced, but it affected me in a way that it has negatives and it has positives. So
Honestly, probably worse because they don't get along. So I'd be just miserable all the time.
If they were still together, I can guarantee no one would be happy. I can guarantee they'd still be cheating on each other. They'd still fight whenever they could, avoid each other whenever they could. I think it's a really good thing that they're not together, and because my dad, he's been remarried twice, so obviously he's still trying to figure out how happy he needs to be. But my mom's been with the same guy for like 10 years, and I haven't seen her happier like when she was with my dad. So if it wasn't for my brother and I don't think they would have been together. A lot, and it's not just like their divorce. It caused me to notice a lot of other problems in other relationships, like within my family and like friends that I see whose relationships didn't work out as well. Because in my family, everyone's either divorced or they're married and unhappy in their relationship, and I don't want to put myself through that if that's what I have to as a model to live off of, I guess.
I don't believe in marriage.
I don't know. I still feel like marriage is possible, but it's definitely affected my view on like who you should marry. It shouldn't just be for love.
I mean, I don't know if it's changed necessarily, but I just feel like when you marry someone, like you need to be sure of it, because like I don't want anyone else to have to go through this like emotional teasing per se. Like I don't think it's fair to anyone. So I mean, I've always thought that.
yes, definitely. I don't know if I would ever. I would be very, very untrusting of somebody if they asked me to marry them within a quick amount of time, or even if you've been together for years and years and years, because I think that marriage puts a title on things that, allows things to go downhill sometimes. Like with my sister, she was younger when this all happened, so she didn't understand fully what happened between my parents. So she was more blind to what my dad did because he had an affair. So I don't have a great relationship with my father, but she has a better relationship.
Because both of my parents, they cheated on each other. So for a while I didn't like either one of them.
Like, I don't think my parents would necessarily have gotten divorced. My dad's an alcoholic, and he just got way out of hand, so my mom decided that she was done. And so I used to be closer to my dad.
I just know that my dad was very inconsistent.